Here's another painting of mine with ocean as subject. I'm sure you already immediately pick it up that this one looks different from the last one, which was all grayish with little somewhat more subtle gray tone changes there in details. This one, if you look at the upper half of the composition, it is pretty much all grayish, but it offers much more apparent grayscale changes to deliver the perspective of the far remote background of the ocean and the gloomy clouds and the strong sea wind impacted, collided with the ocean waves and created all those ocean wave bubbles and looked like this sea frost in the background. And then you look at the lower half of the painting, which is closer to the viewers in forefront, and they look obviously more greenish. And for those of us who actually went to either the open sea or at least the seaside, and our observation experiences tell us we don't really see such, green ocean with the gray sky and cloud in the background. Pretty much the ocean waves are supposed to reflect the color of the sky. So if the sky and the cloud shows the gray tones, it is very difficult to see the green waves close to you, unlike in this painting. So why would I want to do this? To paint a picture that is totally against the rules of Mother Nature in the scientific way? Well, first of all, shapes and colors supposedly to divide and tell the differences among the objects in the world, they don't really exist. It's pretty much because our sensors, the eyes, pick them up and send the signal back to the neural center to process. And then there, we believe we see what we see. But what do you really see? When you take a walk at the daybreak hour in the countryside and you see in the far out background there's some sticky shadow there, barely moving, and in this shape that is very difficult to tell. And what would you say that is, right in front of your eyes? Well, if you had the experiences living in the countryside, you probably already, be able to tell that, that is just a cow. And if you're such a urban person, you barely ever set your feet in the Mother Nature or countryside, and you don't really have any experience to tell you what that is. And what do you tell yourself? Oh, that's probably just a dead tree trunk or something, right? Or a piece of abandoned furniture. So what you really see had a lot to do with what your life experience and your education could tell you what you should be seeing. Let's put that apart for now and look back at this painting. For me, this is more psychologically different from the last one. I intentionally set the differences between the lower half and the upper half, while the image itself without the color would make sense in the relationship or co-relationship between the two, meaning the ocean waves, the clouds, and the skies, only the color start to draw a little suspicions there, which I personally think is good because it makes it a little more interesting and make people to think. Because when you look at the background or the upper half of the painting, it is gloomy gray. And then you look at the greenish waves in the lower half of the painting, it seems a little bit more promising. Obviously, this is not a work to create some psychological profile or try to impact your mood. Actually, it'd be nice, but that wasn't set out to do that. It was really just a technical challenge for myself to see if I can integrate that while it still remain interesting. It would have to be brought back into a little order. I mean, after all the painting, you do find order in there. Whether you intentionally try to place them there or not, they will have to come back to order. Otherwise, as an artist, you simply want to toss that thing away. So this one is already set out to be different from the last one. In fact, all my paintings would always reflect certain challenge that I set, and I hopefully at the end of the process I could convince myself I actually come out really good and solve the problems that I set out the challenge with. And in this case, I think I'm satisfied. Are you?